Hey, what's up? This is Gerardo. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. Today's topic is, are you motivated by pain or pleasure? We're going to be taking a deep look into what makes people take action and how to rewire ourselves to take action. Who is this video for? People interested in becoming more self-aware. This video is intended for people who want to get a deep understanding of themselves and learn how to motivate themselves into taking action. The action that they really want and not the action that they don't want. Sometimes people confuse the two. I want you to go back into a time when you did something and felt a slight pain from it. For most people, this is when they touched the fire on the stove. And if you didn't touch the fire, perhaps it's when your mom or dad yelled at you for a particular reason. Maybe you were a child and you were about to cross the streets. Because you know, when you're crossing the streets, it's dangerous for a child. You may get hit by a car or something. Whatever the thing may be, I just want you to take a deep look back into what that could be. Now you're a fully grown person. However, all your associations that you stored in the past are all stored in your subconscious. The subconscious is a database of all your experiences and memories. We humans are always motivated by one or two things: moving towards pleasure or moving away from pain. Sometimes in between, sometimes depending on the circumstances, but the structure is intact. We move towards pleasure or we move away from pain, and it varies as well. This is the human condition. If you're motivated by pleasure, you may find yourself doing things for potential positive reasons. An example: maybe you go to the gym to get a six-pack, or maybe you go to the gym to look attracted to the opposite sex. Maybe you go to school so that you can feel intelligent. Maybe you go to school so that you get educated. Maybe you go to school so that because the idea of making six figures is something that makes sense. Or maybe you start a business because there's a lot of money potentially made in that. That is moving towards potential benefit. And then on the opposite, there is motivated by pain. So for example, let's say you go to the gym not to look attractive, but not to feel ugly instead. So I don't know, like it does take someone who feels, maybe they're overweight or something, or maybe they feel themselves to be unattractive. They go to the gym because they want to work out their beauty. Maybe they even buy beauty products or some sort of skin enhancement products. So this person feels ugly. They go to the gym so they get a great looking body, so that maybe they feel better about themselves. Maybe they look attractive to the opposite sex. But this is coming from the place of pain. I feel ugly, so I must take action to fix this pain feeling. And most of the time, people are actually really trying to move away from pain, because pain is it's an easier kind of thing to feel rather than pleasure. Like moving towards pleasure seems like it requires a little more effort, whereas moving away from pain, like, it's a little more kind of common sense and very intuitive. You touch the fire, pull the fire back, sort of thing. Don't get hit by a car. Let's not, right? Because we know that we get hit by a car, that's gonna hurt. And there are plenty of other examples that we can use for this sort of thing. Sometimes this is very tricky to tell as we rationalize it, as we're motivating ourselves towards some sort of potential benefit. When you're motivated by pain, whether you're motivated by pain or pleasure, doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Although ideally, you would be motivated by pleasure, since being motivated by pain is less practical and motivating by pleasure is more practical. When I was a child, I was motivated by the idea of being productive and maximizing my potential. I would read a book and go to the gym because I felt I was making use of my time, yada yada. So there was times where I was moving towards some idea of pleasure or positive benefit that I had in my head that made sense to me. However, also when I was a child, there were times when kids made fun of me, and they made fun of me, and it really upset me. made me mad. So this motivated me to prove myself. If someone called me dumb, I would study non-stop and use an incredible amount of willpower. I would read books and books, especially someone like gave me like a negative compliment or not negative compliment, like a negative insult. Someone called me ugly, I would go to the gym and work out. If someone called me weak, I would go to the gym and work out. Going to the gym is a solution for many things. In all these cases, this is negative programming. It's not really helpful in the long run, because what you do is you're finding yourself in that loop of you're always motivating from pain. You're motivating away from pain. So it's not the right kind of loop to fall yourself in, because I've also experienced this too. When the pain dies out, so does the motivation. You wonder why you're no longer motivated when the pain is no longer there. So it's kind of like, let's take someone who's going to the gym because they feel ugly. So now they have a good looking body, they feel beautiful. Now this person no longer has to go to the gym, because it's like, well, I don't feel bad about myself anymore. And that person stops going to the gym, and now they go back to having that crappy body. And now what happens is, it's like, oh crap, I gotta go back to the gym. Now they find themselves motivated to go back to the gym, and that's because the pain was resurrected again. So this is how most people kind of run their lives, where unknowingly these little nuances take place in their life and in their kind of reality, because they're not aware of these kind of micro laws. I guess the laws we're talking about today are pain and pleasure. And particularly in the long run, we don't really think things too long, nor do we really have to. But this is something that is very important to understand, this way that we have a greater awareness of, okay, I need to do this. I need to think a little ahead of time so that these things don't come back. Because unfortunately, when we think of time as like, I don't know, like 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. We don't really think too far ahead or something. Whereas like time seems like a very static thing. It's very dynamic, where it's like this moment, this moment, this moment, this moment, this moment. It wasn't until I was fully grown up and became wiser. Of course, after reading tons and tons of books and buying many helpful books that help me understand life as a whole, I didn't really understand these things. So I was always kind of like, kind of understanding where my problem and issues lied in. And this is where I got into hypnosis, NLP, and law of attraction, where things started to finally make sense. And you have to kind of connect the dots in your own head of pain and pleasure. Otherwise, you're going to be default in a sense. Is that you have to kind of form new associations for yourself that are positive benefits. So, for example, let's say you're a writer, right? Writing for me is kind of particularly boring, but if you don't have that motivation, some sort of emotion, you're not gonna do it. Let's say, oh, I need to write because I need to pay the rent, or I need to write because I want to help the people, or some sort of whatever, like I want to help people. The feeling of helping people makes you feel good. The feeling of paying your bills. You either want freedom or you want to move away from scarcity. Maybe you're in scarcity and you want to move into abundance. So that is a kind of a motive right there. And in hypnosis, we normally call this anchors. Candy can be anchored to mean a sweet treat, or it can mean an unhealthy treat. It depends on the person and how they want to look at it. Many things have different anchors per person. The same structure is intact though. X equal Y. X feels good. Y or X feels bad, whatever. So in the case of candy, some people may look at it as, oh, too much sugar, it's unhealthy, or some people may like it as a kind of a pleasant treat just to have, like, just to enjoy it. Depends on like your, I guess, your philosophy or your kind of own personal look. I'm so happy that I got into hypnosis because hypnosis helped me modify my personality and my behaviors to kind of make more sense to what it is that I want to do. Hypnosis taught me how to control my decisions and effectively make me take the actions that I want for my own reasons that make sense to me. And that is the power of hypnosis. By learning the right way to talk to yourself, you can convince yourself to do whatever it is you want to do, and I do mean whatever, for your own very reasons. Now again, we already have the structures intact, but you need to find those emotions, those motivators, those pleasant feelings, and you can rewire yourself in any way possible. Like you can say, I need to write so I don't feel poor, right? That can be a motivation. Or I need to write so I can have a boat and I can be free and I can be rich. Something like that. But you can always anchor different things and different things to mean different things. So you can always change the things that you are anchored to, and you can always change your associations if you take conscious control today and stop letting the people around you choose for you how you associate things. Because if you're not going to do it, other people will do it for you. And that is the problem that we have today is, one is ignorance, massive programming, a big massive hypnosis, and that's why I have 2 opportunities for you today, so that you can take control over your life today and stop letting people around you take control over it. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Please feel free to check out the wonderful resources to learn more helpful ways to do the things that you want to do. Check out the links below. One of them is End Self-Sabotage, where you will learn how to set goals and accomplish any goal you want. You will learn goal-setting skills that will last you a lifetime or 2 if you live that long. The second one is Maximum Social Confidence, and as the name suggests, it is intended to maximize your confidence. Confidence is like a muscle, and to improve your confidence, you must work on building that quality of confidence. Very much like going to the gym and working out your biceps and doing bicep curls to work your biceps. Joe Trent teaches you how to really grow your confidence in a way that is practical, in a way that makes sense, in a way that's simple, and in a way to make it enjoyable. Please do remember, whatever you choose to do it slow, do it steady. Remember, the turtle won the race in that story. The story between the turtle and the hare, and they were racing. The turtle won that race. So remember that, guys. Slow and steady. Let go, have fun, and peace. This has been Gerardo Morillo. Feel free to check me out on the links below, my social media, my blog, and everything else and all that good stuff. Bye bye now.